What's up, everyone? Bradley Jack Design here with another lovely Monday of designing. Today I don't really know what I'm going to do. We'll see if anyone trickles in to figure out what we can do, but we're just going to roll with it. I'm probably going to do a card design, so I've got that set up here. So we've got our 1200 by 2800 pixel setup, which is the same ratio as 2.5 by 3.5. I'm actually we'll keep that the same. And then I'm gonna put some guides on here. Do 1/4 inch. View guide, new guide layout. We're gonna add 0.5 to that. And then view guide, new guide layout. We're gonna add more to that as well. So it looks like that. So now we have our nice targeted area for us to create a design. Now I found a company that can do really nice printing. So like, here's a graphic I made. This Sunny Lee card that looks really nice, holographic. Text on it could probably be a little bit better. It's a learning sort of curve thing, but it's got holographics on it. Looks great. If you've seen a couple of my streams before, you saw me make this card live. It's a first pitch card for a card collector 2. He owns a YouTube channel. His name's Ryan. But I got a couple different holographs for that. I was able to get those on a test print for some other cards I'm making. But since I have those cards made, I want to see if we can get cards made for other people. So, you know, if we have celebrities or other athletes that might want to be done, and I was trying to figure out who to contact. And there's some celebrities too who I kind of want to contact to see if they want to do cards. Because some people don't have cards, and some people might have a couple things. People might have sought after, basically who is sought after autographs. So what we're gonna do, I think I want to design a card based around Scottie Scheffler, because all he does is win no matter what. So I'm gonna go up to my bookmarks. I'm gonna go to here, Scottie Scheffler. We're gonna use Google Advanced Image Search to look for a photo of Scottie Scheffler. I'm pretty sure I'm spelling his name right. Let's do the past year. He's won a lot of stuff in the past year. And what I'm thinking too is like, what would they have on Getty? So like, Getty Images is where I would theoretically buy photos. So like, what would this look like? You know, I was looking at photos of Robbie Gould. That would be a cool person to do a card for. Thinking sports I like. Spice Adams, who plays for the Chicago Bears. You know what we want to do there. So I'm gonna look up Scottie Scheffler on here just to see if I can find images. Now I'm not gonna find anything under creative because there aren't no creative images. It's all gonna be under editorial. And the way it would work would be, I find an image I like. Let's say I like this image. I can go in here and I can get a custom rights to this image. So it'd be for like retail product, trading card, non-exclusive or exclusive. I can hit continue with this. Circulation, let's say up to 10,000, and let's do up to 5 years. And basically my target market is the United States, and this would be under like game toys and hobbies. So it's like $300 to use this image. Now through Getty, I would have to get approval to get this. It might be $300 to $600. So that's why when you get cards from Panini or Topps, they usually have one photo for the guy because that's the image they want to use. So let's make a card for Scottie Scheffler. Let's go to ChatGPT because I want to figure out a cool name for this card. And like I did that for some of the stuff over here on the side. Let me hide that. So I want you to think like a marketing agency for a card company and provide me with 15 options for a name Name of a trading card based around Scottie Scheffler. Scheffler. It should be 2 to 3 words, and alliterations are always good. Think in mind his winning capacity this season as well. See if this understands what I'm trying to say. I saw something where it's nice if you like tell ChatGPT what you want it to think like. So I don't really want it to have Scottie's name in it. Okay, make them less Scottie related and more golf related, but still focus on winning. So we'll use this as the starting name, and then we'll go off of that to figure out what exactly we want to do. So like these are good, like Champions Cut. Champions Cut would be fun. Champions Chase. Add in aspects pertaining to the card being autographed. I'm going to put his signature on here somewhere. Champions Mark is nice. Let's do Champions Mark. Okay, I got a lot of ideas from that. So we'll do Champions Mark. Let's go back to Photoshop. Just going to go in here, type in Champions Mark. Let's find an autograph of Scottie Scheffler. So I'm going to go to eBay. See what we have on here. It's going to show all the Duran Holmes, Tumani Kamara, and Obi Toppin cards I've been looking for, aka this. I was looking to see if there were any Anthony Adams autos out there. Because it's one of those things of, does something exist? Is there a need for this? So like, Scottie's got a card in, you know, Sports Illustrated for kids. And he's got like what even is this? Is this an actual card, or is this like some card someone made? Like, what is this? Future Star Olympics. Like this, all rights reserved. Like this, you can't do this. Like I think that's not like a real card. But if I search Scottie Scheffler auto, he might not have any really. It's like signed cards, but no card with his signature on it intentionally. Or like he signed flags. So we'll find one of these flags probably and just steal it from that. I mean, this is kind of nice. Kind of, this is fine. Oh, it's kind of on fabric. We don't want that. We don't want it to be obviously on fabric. Like this one is probably good. Yeah. So we're gonna go back. I want to see actually. We can go in here and we can sort by sold. Best offer, $300. None of these are auctions. Like I said, one bid, like a Scottie signed Titleist golf ball sold for like $400. Like for me, if Scottie had cards made with autographs, you could sell them for $200, $300, $400, depending on what they are. All right, so we have his autograph. That's good. We'll add that in later. We're doing Champions Mark. So to me, what that means, since like golf is like a ball mark would be cool. So maybe we have it look like he's on a green, or the green is a background for this. So I'm gonna copy this. I don't need to save this. I can just paste this in here and make it as big as possible, which is this. Okay, good. So we're gonna hide that autograph. So here's what I'm thinking, and this is all layout wise. So something like this. This is the auto. We have solid color in the background. I'll move this over so you can see. We'll change that to green. So his autograph would go here. Now I have a ruler here. I have an autograph card. I want to see what Tops does. Like here's a sensational signature card of Monty Kamara. I want to see how just big the autographed area is. Usually it's like, yeah, 1.9 wide. This one's small, it's like 0.75. So I want to make, yeah, I know there's nothing. Yep, I know that. So we'll do 1.9 inches wide and height 0.75. Shoot. Oh, but I can't do that because I don't have my file set up correctly for that. So we'll change it because we're working with smart objects, so it doesn't really matter. Things are going to scale correctly. So we'll do 1.9 inches by 0.75 inches. Oops. Oh, and I added to that on accident. So really it's the whole inside of this. So we might have to make this a little bit larger. Maybe we have it, okay, we'll have it go off the edge like this. But it's sort of a thing. What I'm thinking of now is an aerial view of a green with a, like, ball marker on it. So it seems like the ball marker is where this autograph is. And then his photo would be up here. Something like that. So let's do that. Let's put this here. So if we go to just like, I'll go to Unsplash. And we'll go to Envato. These are two websites I like to use. I'm going to search ball marker golf. I'll search here, search ball marker golf. I really should do like from above because I want like an aerial view like this. I'm going to say Envato usually has pretty good 3D assets. Or we can put a golf ball on here or something like that. That's not what I want. I want a ball marker. It's really like a poker chip. I'm going to use a poker chip because I'm only going to use this for the shading essentially. Let me render 3D and see if I can get from above. So just this like vague idea of how this kind of looks. Maybe we have a signature inside of a poker chip. What does Scottie Scheffler use as a ball marker? Scottie Scheffler's personal ball marker used in tournaments, handmade to order from Golf Light Metals. Did he actually use these? Like, is there any way of proving that? I feel like there's no way of proving that. So I'm going to download this angle. Download without a license. So I want a white. I kind of want a white poker chip, but this will work and I'll show you why. So what's great with Envato, I downloaded a ping file of that. I don't want a ping. I need to go back to where I was. I want to download a Photoshop file because I'm going to change the color of the poker chip. And I don't really care what the angle is. I just want it straight from above. And we're going to add our own fake little shadow to it anyway. So I'm going to delete this. We just know it needs to be pretty much as wide as this. Let me open up my downloads folder, grab that, put it over here. So this is the poker chip. Great. So we have a shadow. We want the shadow to stay in. That's great. We want that. I'm going to go to the selection area. Okay. Usually, it allows me to select parts so I can change the color of this, but it's not. What if I open this up? See, this is blue and stuff, which I don't want, but we're not going to turn that on anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to take this. I'm going to add a color overlay to this to make it white, which is right here. I'm going to give it a bevel and an emboss. Shoot. File. Color overlay. Satin. Yeah, color overlay. Great. We'll apply that. We'll go back to the effects. We're going to add a bevel and an emboss. Let's see what this looks like. So we want an inner bevel that goes up like this. Depth is 100. What if we do 200? Yeah, depth is 100. Size 10, 15, 20. We want it to be a little bit darker and a little bit brighter on top. Kind of like this. And we want a little bit of this contour. We want it to be a little bit softer. So we'll do 45. Kind of like that. I'm going to give this a little bit of a gradient overlay, but I don't think I can. So I'm going to put this in a group. We're going to bevel emboss the group. And then we're going to give this an additional gradient overlay. Hey Brendan, you're asking, do I ever look at pre-war vintage cards for design inspiration? If I want to do something that is vintage looking, I'll do that, yeah. I haven't looked at a lot of them. Mainly because I'm trying to make really, cool, flashy holographic stuff like that card I showed you before. What's this one? I think this is Cracked Ice. So I think of it from what people are doing now sort of standpoint, but like, this is a terrible, like the Suni Lee card that has this holographic Cracked Ice. Yeah, Cracked Ice texture to it with printing on it. But yeah, any of those like old tops, like Mickey Mantle cards, or even earlier, it's all baseball. But no, I don't usually. If I'm looking for something real vintage, I'll look up something real vintage. So I have this. I'm gonna save this and go back here. So that all saved in this Illustrator. Oh, not that Illustrator. This file. So now I have this thing that kind of looks like a ball marker, but not really. Let's get some putting green. Let's see if we can find putting green on here. I'm only searching 3D, which is fine. I'll just change it to all items. Putting green. I want this photo, which is Unsplash Plus, which means I have to be a subscriber because, of course. But I don't want that. I just want straight up grass from the top, which humorously, like, I can take myself. And I know I've taken photos of like random things on the golf course because I might use them. Usually if I am at like a sporting event or something and I'm like, oh, I might need this for a stock image, I'm gonna take a photo of it. Like I've done that at like UD Arena, where I have taken a photo of like just the arena at a weird angle just in case I wanted to use that. So this is mini golf. This is AstroTurf. I don't want that. This is a little bit better. So we'll download this. Really, this first photo is exactly what I want. Because the color is nicer. Like this is kind of okay. It'd be interesting if we did something at an angle. Because really what we're looking for is we're looking for a container for a photo, and we're looking for a container for an autograph. And then the words champions mark. So humorously, like I made a card for Dayton. Looks like this. Ready for takeoff. So we could do something similar like this. And then the autograph would be below, and then instead of up at the top. Yeah, I'm going to take a photo like this. Did I download this photo? This one will work. I don't think, I think it's, no bueno. We're 100% going to change the saturation on these though. I don't know which one of these is better. Oh, this isn't Photoshop. This is Safari. We'll add this here, and we'll make it just big enough to be on the green. But if it's a ball marker, technically we want like a lot of grass. Like a ball marker would really be like behind grass like this. Depending on how realistic we want to get with it. But we'll go in here. Just gonna grab the lasso tool. Just gonna lasso around here. I could also see, we'll give this a shot too. Just gen fill this. And with gen fill, one of the things you want to make sure you're doing too is getting rid of all the shadows. Because if you don't, it'll think there's supposed to be a shadow there. And it will look weird. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I mean, that's my thought with, like, cards. Like, I've got... You know, here's just 2 cards real quick. Here are 2 select cards. So, like, this OB card, he's popping out of the top. He's actually covering the logo for the card, which is fun. Same here, though. Same year, different card, but he's coming out of the shape. It's how can we guide the eye to make sure that they are doing what we want. And for this instance, we want them to see the image and we want them to see the autograph. I'm going to generatively fill green, grass, golf, green. I don't know. We'll see what that does. I could probably find a better image if I just hop straight into Firefly, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, see, this is green grass from above, shortcut. Yeah, I'm surprised that these have, like, whenever I'm designing something, I'm like, oh, I can't cover the logo, I can't cover the logo. But I guess if you work for the company and they know what the product is, you can do whatever you want. Some of these actually don't look terrible. Very shortcut grass from above. We'll see what this does. It's hard to do, but like I want putting green from above. I think from above is the main thing. I need to say putting green grass from above. We'll try that. And if we don't do anything, we'll just use the AstroTurf. But it's like, this is just as good as AstroTurf, you know? There's a hand, right? I just need to make this a lot smaller. Oh, so we need to go back here. We can combine these together. I'm just gonna copy this and just go back over here and just paste it in here. And we'll rotate it. And we'll do this, because this is really gonna be just sort of a textural element. It's gonna be a really small part of the card because we're gonna have so much more stuff on it. We're really just gonna use that actually as a texture, but we're gonna go in here and we're gonna fix some stuff. Why can't I click on things? Weird. Can't click on anything here. Good thing there's more than one way to do this. Really weird. So I want to make the yellows and make them... Oh, they stay the same saturation. 225. We'll bump the saturation. But I want to make them more green, like that. And we'll make them a little bit darker. Looks way better. Probably fix it a little bit more, but we don't need to. Okay, so I'm going to take this poker chip. I'll just do it manually. So I'm going to duplicate this poker chip. I'm going to give it a color overlay of black to make it black. Great. We're going to take that. We're going to go to filter, blur. We're going to Gaussian blur it like 3 pixels. Color overlay. Oh, I have this set to screen, which is going to do absolutely nothing. This is what I want. Then we're going to go to filter blur gallery. We're going to go to path blur, and we're going to blur this down. We're going to take this, blur it straight down, hit enter so it applies. We're not going to have it be centered, which means it's going to then blur this way, the way the blur goes. So we'll do like 150. Like that. I'm going to turn this back on so we can see what we're doing. So we're just blurring it down this way a little bit. So now I can see what's like behind it. So we're going to do it this way. You can turn taper on a little bit to taper it up. Basically, I just want to make this seem like it's more three-dimensional. And usually what I do is I duplicate this blur gallery. So I'm just going to hold down the option key and just drag it down to duplicate it. Then we'll take this top one and do like 400. A Space Jam Jordan golf game card. Didn't you tell me to do that, Chris? I feel like you did tell me to do a Space Jam card. Now, humorously, if we wanted to be on brand, Obi top end leg tattoo. Obi's leg is Toon Squad tattooed. So I could do a Space Jam Obi Toppin card and just stay completely on brand for this. But we have our... that wasn't you? Okay. We have our autograph area. So we can put our autograph in here. This is where the autograph will go. We need to tweak this. So what should we use? I can't do anything. I'm gonna save this to just my desktop and quit out of Photoshop and not save anything else. And then where did I just save that to? My desktop, great. Hi, force quit, bye. It's funny, I started teaching again today, and I just did what I share with my students. What I do is I'll search my computer for date modified and just go up to the top and be like, oh, here's the thing I just saved. Can I click now? Yes. I can now click on things like
Radiant Map.
I can do that. So I can turn this into a gradient map, and I should probably tell this to just never, ever, just the reverse button. Do one of these. Okay, and we'll just set this to multiply and group these together. Great. Signature. Okay, so really, Brendan, you've learned a few things watching me work. Thank you. Good. That's why I do it. Even if there's only 8 of you watching, it's still fine. So really, if this was like a, it was a ball marker. Do I have a ball marker here? No, but I have a coin. Oh, you've learned that chat doesn't work again. I see that. Yeah, chat.
Save as.
Oh. We don't need to save as. I don't know what to do with chat, to be honest. I've tried. Tried. Let me open up stream labels again. We'll just see if we get it to work one of these days. This is a new subscriber here, but not here. Oh, it does now. It might work now. I don't know. We'll see. So when you mark a ball, you have your ball, you mark it behind it, and then you remove your ball so your ball is on the green, and then you put this on top of it. So if I look at this, I might want to... We could put Scottie inside. We could put a golf ball up here and have the marker below him, which is where his autograph is, and then have like some sort of thing up at the top. So I just want a golf ball. I don't know if I want to use Envato to use a So this is where I can find just a golf ball from above like this and sort of cheese it like this and then put the ball marker below it. But really, if you look at this, like, this isn't anything. If we zoom in here, this is just a golf ball, a little bit of a shadow. We can fake that shadow. So, golf ball isolated. Above. Chat, or not chat. Chris, you should see if chat works. Someone say something, we'll see if it shows up right here. I bet it doesn't. Because it's super broken. I'm going to grab this image. This is a view of the top of a ball with a thing. So we'll download this. We might put this in the background. The issue is I want it to be large. And I don't want it to be pixelated. Mic check, fail. I have 2 chats on here. Let me delete this. Delete chat. Let me add a... I don't remember what it is now. Browser? Oh, see, look. We had it. It was here. And then went away. Hey, Hayes. Yeah, I'm teaching Photoshop and Illustrator at Sinclair Community College. So it's Photoshop and Illustrator for 16 weeks. It's really weird. I don't know why. So the chat showed up for a second, but then disappeared, but it's fine. Okay, so if I grab this image, we'll just swipe it here. Swiper, no swiping. I'm gonna make this 100%. How big is this file? I can work with that. I got rid of one of my guides on accident. Let me make a new guide. Oh, I completely changed the guides. It's fine. I gotta reset these guides because I made them when the file was bigger. Clear existing guides. Clear. This is my second year teaching the class. I've taught it 4 times before this. It's funny, last year I didn't tell my, I mean, there's no point. I didn't tell my students it was my first semester teaching. Sort of like 8 weeks in or like 5 weeks in. And they're like, when did you start teaching? I was like, what week are we in? Oh, we're in week 5. 5 weeks is what it is. But I think they like some younger teachers that aren't older. I think I resonate well with them. Okay, so we're gonna use this photo. I like this photo. I think we're gonna put Scottie in this golf ball, so we don't kind of care about that. We're just gonna go like this. We're just gonna generatively fill this. This looks like better fake grass, but it still looks weird. It looks like fur. Honestly, I might be able to go like this. Wait, can I do that with an object? This is better than my class. Because you get to add, yeah, this is better. No one ever uses a marquee like the 52 Tops design. It looks great on almost anything. Let me take a look at that. Ball marker. Oh look, Hayes fixed chat. Hayes fixed chat. Yeah, it's not an online class. Look at this ball marker. These are ball markers. Oops, save. It used to be an online class, but yeah, it's not that expensive to take because it's community college. I think it's like $150 a credit, so like it's really not that much money. But you get to learn for free with me here. So okay, so Champions Mark, we're gonna have theoretically like a circle up here like this. with a photo of Scottie. I don't know. I'm just going to find a random photo of Scottie Scheffler. Is this in the last? Yeah. Like, I'm just going to download this photo real quick. And we might not use this photo. We'll use any photo. It doesn't matter. Put this here. Maybe we take all of these and drag it down. Because that was my initial idea with this ball marker. It was going off the edge a little bit. But it needs to be smaller based on the ball. It should be something like this. So looking from above, it's actually going to get cut into it a little bit. So I'll make this a little bit bigger. Pop this up here. I'm using these guides to figure out where the heck this ball should go. And I want this to be kind of off. I think that's fine. I do want it below this though. Did I mess this up? I did. Well, that's an accident. Good thing we can go like this. Gen fill, enter. 52 tops. Oh yeah, like on the mantle card. Yeah, it's got a marquee. I'm not gonna look for eBay for that card because it's mantle. I'm gonna go to Golden and take a look. 52 tops mantle. So what Brendan's talking about. Oh, there are no results. Okay. The last, a Topps Mickey Mantle sold for $12.6 million. It was an SGC 9.5. Just open the image in a new tab, whatever. It looks like this. So it's like marquee at the bottom. I like doing stuff with marquees actually because it's really fun to finesse around with in Photoshop. Okay, so we have this ball marker. I'm going to do a new smart object via copy, put it on top of everything. Grab this, group this together. Ball marker auto area. I usually type in all caps just because I usually type camel case wrong, so I'm just gonna get to the point and do this. So we have our golf ball. I'm gonna go into this now. Adjustments, gradient map.
Gradient map.
And then we'll make this black and white. We're using this just for the shadow. Mainly of the golf ball. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna blur it a little bit, see what this does. And hits save. Combine it together, it'll be fine. So this is just gonna go on here and set it to multiply. Except this is set to multiply. Oh God. Pass through, multiply, normal, normal. I don't like this. Let me just move this down. Great. Yeah, I didn't do what I wanted. Because I need to mask out this area. So I'm gonna use the old friend.
Quick select.
And we're gonna mask out this area. I'm not even gonna edit the mask. I'm literally just gonna do this. That was a mistake. So I'm gonna go in here and use a nice soft little brush to brush back in this area. One thing you might not know is sometimes the guides will make you click on the guideline. Oops. So I want to avoid that. I don't want this to be too dark. But I don't want it to seem like this is below the ball, which I'm kind of doing, but very poorly. I think I can just think I can just fake the shadow better. So I can just go like this, grab a soft brush, and basically just go like this. There. So now it's behind him, or something like that. The circle is in a decent spot. Oh yeah, we have lots of sound effects here. We've got one if we're talking about the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. The Bears.
Air horn, does that work? But anytime we use quick select, displacement map, gradient maps, curves, and save, those are all on here. Okay, so this golf ball is really green and I don't like it. So this is also a top flight, which is hilarious. Top flight is the worst ball you can use pretty much. I'm gonna gen fill that and see if it fixes it. I think it will. But I don't like how yellow this is. So let's go to adjustments, hue and saturation. We'll go to yellows. I want to select just this color. We're going to desaturate it. Like that. Great. And then we're going to use quick select. I'm just going to save this. You can't save a JPEG with layers, so I have to make it a PSB file. So I'm going to replace this with replace contents and just find that because I'm sorting by date modified. There. Now I have this golf ball. Now, do we want the other side of this golf ball to be green as well? Probably not. So I can probably just take hue and saturation and just go down all the way and save it and go over. Now we have a white golf ball that is not directly in the center. And we need to move that over so it's in the center. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to make everything smaller. Make it 95%. The reason being is from getting some of these cards printed, just seeing where stuff is on the edge, like this file has the edge right here you see is almost nothing. Same with the other side. It's supposed to be like a window. Also, this came out super nice. Look at that. Looks awesome. Go Flyers. Be great if anyone was a Dayton Flyer fan watching this, because they just get to see what the Dayton 6 cards are going to look like. So with this, so we can see a little bit of area here from where it's not masked out well. Why is that? What is that? What is going on? Oh. This needs to be applied to just this. But it still doesn't make any sense. There's another layer somewhere doing something weird and I just can't see it. Oh, it's the mask. Okay. It looked like it was following this, which it kind of was, but it's the mask, so we can fix that. We'll just make a brush. We'll get the level layer here, and we'll just cut around this. The thing with golf balls is they're not perfectly circular. I mean, they have dimples in them, so you can't have like a nice little curve. So you can actually kind of fake the funk with this because, you know, it's a golf ball. Who knows what the edge of the golf ball actually is supposed to look like? No one. So like this looks kind of nice. Like I kind of like what we've got going here. I'm going to save again just because we can. My main idea was to have this go off the bottom, but I want some, you know, substance. I want some blubber to this. We need some nice blubber. Maybe we put this down here like that. Do we have Scottie's face or the golfer's face be the key point? Do we have the autograph be the key point? It should be golfer, then their autograph. So I think this works. But then we get to the point, do we want everything on here? So we go even smaller and everything is on here inside these guys. It's a small signature then. Do we want that? It's a fake card. It's probably fine. So we'll go like that, put that there. Now, we might do a couple little things in here. But we could just make this marker larger, you know, and shove it down like this. I mean, honestly, a real golf marker would be like this big or something like that. But we don't want to do that. So we'll just leave it like that. Both of these up here and go like that. Okay. So this photo, we're going to select this. I'm going to use select and mask, and we're going to go around and I'm just going to hit I don't want to hit OK, because I'm going to do I'll just do layer mask. It's fine. It's going to cut it out. It's going to look bad because we've got this back here, but that's fine. I want to duplicate it. So I have my golf ball. I'm going to rotate it and make it a little bit smaller, and this is what Scottie's going to be in. So it's the golf ball shape instead of the thing there. And we're probably going to make it smaller. Shoot, let me do this. I don't need to make the photo smaller, I just need to want to make the photo guide a little bit smaller. We have a little bit of a base for what we're doing and what we're dealing with. We need to say Champions Mark. I don't want to curve the text because I've done that before. And I don't want to copy things. So we're thinking, where do we want the holographic effect to be? And what other things can we add to this to guide using that holographic effect? So like in the graphic we made of Ryan, we've got all these lines and stuff. So sort of is, how can we use some line work to guide the eye where we want to go? And how can we relate that to golf? What things can we put on here? We have Champions Mark. We need to have on here Scottie Scheffler. Yeah, golf bag. We could do golf tees, stuff that have to do with that. Probably going to do stuff that has to do with like what is on a card. So when you play golf, you attest someone's score. So you say, yes, this is what they scored. So we could put on here a test. Like if I go to Pebble Beach golf card. Here's an Aaron Rodgers signed Pebble Beach golf card. Really? So it's signed on one edge by who cares? Who cares? Right down here, score a test. Scores like this. We could probably find a cool looking font like that we can use. And then let's just certify that. Spyglass Hill, Pebble Beach. And then how we throw elements like this into it. How can we do that? So what did this, the winning bid was $50. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. So Champions Mark we might have in a old school font like that. And his name. So Scottie Scheffler, I'm gonna write a test. Because a test would be a fun thing to have on here. So this font actually, what is it? What font does Pebble Beach use? Yeah, I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. This is literally from their brand guides. Our primary font is Gaudy Old Style. Do I have Gaudy Old Style? No. So Gaudy Old Style was actually, I think, a font that I learned in college. Because in college, let me log in with Adobe real quick. Oh, it did it for me. In college, we actually had tests where we basically walked into a room and there were, I don't know, 20 huge pieces of paper on the wall with just A through Z, 0 through 9, and we'd have to name what that font was. It was like, name 20 out of the 26. What fonts are they? We're gonna use Gaudi old style. I imagine looking down the golf club shaft at the ball and seeing the golfer in the reflection of the club. That'd be cool. Do something with like Rory, something like that. Guys who hit the ball super hard. Gaudi. Nope. Let's try it again. Gaudi. This synced. This is the right account. This isn't web only, right? Just give it a sec. Yeah, it just takes a little bit. So I'm gonna make this say a test. We're gonna sort of go off of some stylings. Oh, you know what? I knew it was Pebble Beach because I did a project in school. I got it right here. Hold on. My portfolio from school. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't use that. Pebble Beach Resorts, see? Made this like Celebrity Golf Tournament Veterans Day invitation. But I didn't use the right font. I do think I made that Illustrator golf ball though. I think I did that. Anyway, never mind. Disregard. So is it test in all caps? Yes, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. This is the ball marker. We're going to, this is just a circle, so that's fine. We can just take this and just make it, it's linked. We want to unlink layers. I'm gonna take this and make it a little bit smaller. Great. New object, new smart object via copy allows me to edit this without changing the other one. So I want to get rid of the bevel and emboss. I really just want to make this a circle. Because that's kind of what it is. This gradient overlay actually might look good if it's just the other way. What does that look like? That looks fine. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to give it a fill of nothing, and then I can give it a stroke. Let's do like 2. But I want it to be light. 29, 25, 24 is the color Princeton uses. 33 and 1. Just want to add a little bit of line to this. And one thing I might add while I'm here. Let's try this. This is a gradient overlay set to normal. I'm going to set that to multiply and be okay. This is a color overlay, which is good. I'm going to make this its own group again. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Let me just go to Windows Styles. Legacy Styles, Chrome. This is kind of what I want, but not really. Because if I save this and go back here, it's editing this one thing to make it look Chrome, which is kind of what I wanted it to do. This is good. Let me give this an inner shadow of light. Size can be 50. We don't need any noise. So now that looks more like an actual golf marker. It's metal, you put it down. We can copy this and add in some of these strokes a little bit. You know, make it so it's like a little target or something like that. People like to get dressed snazzy. People have dress codes they have to follow. But yeah, golf is was invented in Scotland. So having some sort of plaid would make sense. I'm going to save just because we're here. I'm going to make this larger. So we can sign wherever, and then this is what we're going to do. If the current layer is white, it's going to blend in. So we want to do that, make that its own smart object. What if I make this chrome? Hell yeah. Look at that, look how metal that is. It's so metal. Great. We just need to tweak the bevel and emboss so it's not so much. And the gloss contour is fine. In this drop shadow we need to get rid of. The outer glow. The inner shadow. Oh, it's the inner shadow too. Contour. Yep, contour is fine. I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna duplicate this and get rid of it. Put this underneath. I'm gonna give this not a pattern overlay. Get rid of all this because we don't want any of this. I'm going to give this a gradient overlay of sort of metallic. This here is sort of a metallic color. And then I can put this in a group together and see what this looks like on top. Oh, that didn't do anything though. I need to turn the effects on. So it looks like this, which is good. Then we want this. This is just going to be sort of textural on top to see if we can make it look like sort of a signature. I'm going to set it to 5. Set it to multiply. Maybe we give this a different gradient so it's not so blue. Let me just... I'll just add an adjustment layer of hue and saturation. Just kill the saturation. So we can kind of make it look like he signed with a marker. So we can make the ball marker any color now. So we can go like this. Give this whole signature a little bit of a bevel and an emboss, but not a crazy insane one. Just want to give it a normal bevel. Depth 100, size fine, that's great. Let's make this 30. We're not going to color dodge. We're just going to do normal at 33, 33 multiply. We're not doing chisel hard, we're doing smooth. It needs to be like 5. And its direction is up. It's more like 3, but this is more like 25. And then we give it a slight drop shadow. Like 15 opacity, that's a distance of 10 and 20. Nope. Kind of like that. So it's him. Is this doing anything? No? Why is this not doing anything? It's really weird. There we go. So now I'm going to make this back color, which I think is this one. We can make this poker chip any color. Let's look up Scottie. Scottie Scheffler family crest. You know, the Scheffler history family of arms. So they're from Germany. This is the ancient arms of Scheffler. It has a... Is that a lamb? A sheep? Schaffery? They've been named who casks and barrels a cooper. Who makes casks and barrels. So something with barrels would kind of work, but it doesn't seem like they have a family tartan from this one website. Okay, so we're gonna make this dark colored. Oops, that's the shadow. It's just a fill layer. So we can make it black. And then go back here. Yeah. Screwed everything up. Did not want to do that. Okay, this is an inner shadow, so we're just going to give this a color overlay. Set to normal, and we're just going to make it a darker color. I don't really want to make it black, but we can make it black. That's fine. We just need to change a test to white. And we really will make this like really small. I've learned too that you can make things pretty damn small and they'll still show up fine. As long as your printer knows what they're doing, which the printer I found is doing a very good job of that. We'll make the stroke a little bit larger and we'll make it white. Okay. I'm thinking of where we can add holographic to this, which is good. We can add a lot down here, which will look cool. We've got all these speckles and stuff, and that is from this signature. So we can go in and we can clean that up a little bit by doing this. Yeah, that'll work. But then we don't need to make this silver. We can make this, but he would be signing with like kind of a paint pen, so I kind of get it. What is this contour? Oh, okay. Play with this just a little bit. It's fine. It's just a signature. It's going to be a mock-up anyway. So we've got a test down here. I don't know if I can get this to work. So I can draw a circle and put it in the same spot. Like this, and make the circle smaller. And then theoretically I can take text and I can type on this circle. But I have no idea where the text is or how this damn text is supposed to work. I think we tried this a different time and I was just like, I can't get the warp text to warp and do what I want. So instead what we did was we just did just a regular warp. So we'll do that here. I need to put this in the center, so we'll put this to the middle of the canvas. Great. So we're gonna go to it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna have me do it. No, I can warp regular text, it's fine. We want to arch this the other way, so negative like 33. Nope, negative 25. Nope, it's not even that much. You can see how I only need to do it like negative 15. But I do need to have this spread out a little bit. Not following perfectly, but it's better than nothing. I can take this at the top and type in Scottie Scheffler. This is live text, which is fine, and this is also, if I go to the warp, I can change the transformation to be 15, which is not enough. But it's warping it instead of having it follow a path. I want it to follow a path, which is annoying, because I just can't get the text to work. I'm sure I could figure it out. I just really don't want to. On path. Scottie Scheffler. Great. This is what I want, but I want it to be smaller. Hide this. This is actually showing up, so that's a good start. I want this to be smaller. So it says Scottie Scheffler. Great. Maybe we have a test up here at the top, and then Scottie Scheffler is on the bottom. Let me delete this text. Let me duplicate this text, hide this, change this to say test. Make this like 5. And I should be able to move things around, but I cannot. And I don't know where the stupid buttons are to change that. Like, I can do this and just hit like to hold down the spacebar a bunch. But to me, it's not a friendly feature. But then it's gone because it's off the edge. Because it ends there. So I can hit this, I can do this, I can rotate this whole thing around like that, and then the text is on the bottom, which is great. And then I can flip the text. I can't flip the text. See how annoying this is? It's so annoying. Listen, if you're in chat and you know how to fix this, you let me know. Because I can't think of what tool. It would be the direct select tool. But that's going to just change that. There's type. There's no type on path tool. It's literally, this is what you get. Figure it out. Because I want Scottie Scheffler down there. Reversed. Upside down. But where is it? It's so much easier to do this in Illustrator. It's not even funny. So like, watch this. I'm just gonna do it from Illustrator. See, Brandon, I don't know what it is because you said stuff and then chat broke. So like, it's just super broken. Okay, so we're gonna make a new file here. Then we're gonna really get to some cool stuff. Here's this, great. So I'm going to make a circle. We're gonna have it follow the inside here. We're gonna make it a little bit smaller. And this is why it's good for people in my class to learn how to use both of these. That's the inside. I want to type on a path, click Scottie Scheffler. We can make this Gaudi. That's too regular and just bump it up a bunch. Great. I'm gonna do, nah, it's fine. We'll take this, make it white. And then here I can drag these around. I can drag this to be up here. But I can drag this around. I want to make it so it's centered text. So now if I put this up at the top, it should say Scottie Scheffler. Oh, but it's the start and the start and the stop. So this is start, this is the stop. So it's in the center. So this is somewhat okay. Now I'm going to lower the baseline, which is going to then allow me to tighten up the text a little bit better. It's going to sit a little bit better on that line, I think. So let's say Scottie Scheffler like that. Doesn't look as good as I want. So we'll actually up the baseline a little bit. No, the text is just too close to each other. Let's make it a little bit smaller and a little bit further out. Scottie Scheffler. So I can copy this, paste this, and just change this to say a test. And then just change this to be... I can change this and say, no, I want it on the top part, like that. No. I want it to be like that. There we go. Test. Great. This doesn't need to have a baseline shift. I actually made it a lot. No baseline shift needed. And actually, I do want it to be the exact same because I want to make this like the size of the golf ball. I'm going to follow this curve a little bit. I can fake it a little bit, kind of like that. Oh, but I moved the, I changed the width and stuff of the text, which I don't want to do. So I just want this to say a test. A test. Don't give it a baseline. We don't need this at all. Make this 25. Ooh, 35. Oh god. And we'll put this right here. So it's supposed to be following it's supposed to be following this. We also might get rid of that, so it's fine. Just gonna delete it. So we have the Scottie Scheffler text. I'm just gonna copy and paste this now right here. We're gonna paste it as a smart object. Scottie Scheffler text. So now we have Scottie Scheffler text that is nice and round, that fits great. We can move his signature up. His signature can actually go wherever we want because it's going to be on top of the card. We can do sort of like this, where it says Scottie Scheffler. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to add some stuff back here. We're going to add some line work to this to make it a little bit more interesting. So we're going to add line work like this. We're going to give this a fill of nothing, give this a stroke of 2. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm just going to duplicate this, add it to here. Stroke, stroke like that. So we're adding a little bit of more, something a little bit more detailed in the background. What we're going to do is we're going to maybe mimic a little bit of a card like this. One thing I know they do in sports cards are, let me find it. I got it right here. Where'd it go? It's like what Panini does with, they do these season tickets. So like here's a gold season ticket of Tamani Kamara. But at the bottom they have this text and stuff. And that correlates to their height and weight and their number. So we could do something like that where there's numbers on it based on wins or something like that. So yardage, hole number. We could add like a flag to this to make it look cool. Maybe Champion's Mark is in a flag. You know, because they have golf flags, stuff like that. How can we add and stretch out the design and add some depth to this? You know, usually what I'll do is I'll add like, you know, we'll have something behind this. So we have some stuff to guide the eye. So maybe we go like this, but we kind of want this to be a little bit more just visual. Also, how can we add something inside of this to just have it have texture? You know, what can we do? Let's figure out the Champion's Mark text first. Let me hide these real quick. Okay, Champion's Mark. We want this to be Gaudi, theoretically. Champion's Mark. Now, if this was like a National Treasures card, do I have that one right here? No. Yes, I do. Somewhere. They took a photo of it. Good, great. I got just cards everywhere, so I wanted to show you. Well, here's a card. So like, this is a really cool card. It's called Once Upon a Time. It's got a really tiny area to sign, which is sort of what we're doing. But we want to do something like the edge here. And I can see the edge just sort of has this cool little pattern to it and some filigree. And I think that'll look good here because it's prestigious. It's golf. So We can make a pattern. We can also do it in Illustrator because it's going to be a lot easier. So we might do that. But if we did that, what would we be looking at? Okay, what are the properties of this? This is 2.225. Okay. So we're going to go back to Illustrator. We're going to make a border for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to inches. We're going to make this 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Because that's the height of the card. We're going to make a rectangle that's 2.25 and 3.25, which is this. We're going to put it in the dead center, like that. I'm going to copy this and make it black, and just put this in the back so we have a black background. But I need to make it so it's just like a normal size. So we'll do 2.5 by 3.5. Put it in the back. Great. So we'll just make it green because this is what it's going to look like. Green. It doesn't matter. So we're going to make it white, but it's going to be holographic theoretically. So we can make our own pattern. So if we want to make our own pattern around something with golf, it could be a lot of different things. We could also, go on Envato here, and I can type in, ornate border. And we're searching under photos, which is fine. We're going to go to all items. I spelled ornate wrong. That makes sense. I'm like, what did I spell wrong? It's like they have these graphic frames and borders that can be used that people have uploaded and made, which is great. This is kind of what I want. Now, none of these are sort of what I want. Like, it's a classic frame. So frame kind of like this. So I'm going to download this. We're going to use one of these. So Digiselector, thank you. We're going to use these for our own design. How are these set up? Are these all different? There are a lot of frames in here. I wonder if these are set up with paths too. No, they're just fills. So that's the thing, is you would want and hope that these were brushes or patterns. No, they would be brushes. Because you can turn these into brushes. They're just easier to manipulate and use. I like this one. This one's kind of nice. The question is, can we make it fit what we want? So I can go to the properties panel, which is up here. We do 2.5, 2.5. And the height is 5.5. So I actually want it to be 2.25. Oh, I'm not, sorry, I'm not doing it. Shoot. Okay, here it is. All right, so now that is together, so now it's gonna move together. Now this is huge, so I don't want it to be huge. So I'm going to make it a lot smaller, like that. Then I can double click on this. So we're just editing this, and I can move these over to where I want. So it fits my design. Kind of like that. So that could be the inside or something like that. So then is there something over here that has just like a nice border texture like this, but like this? Like, I really like this. So we're gonna copy this. Oh, these are all just different. Mainly they're different sizes. So I'm gonna paste this in here. I'm going to rotate this. And I'm going to make this much smaller. Except this is not letting me make it smaller. Kind of like that. Even smaller, kind of like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... These are in the same group together, which is kind of fine. I need to select this. I want to give this a stroke of a little bit, but I want it to be on the inside. So we're going to go down to stroke. We're going to put it on the inside. Let's make it 6 points. That should be good. So this is where this pattern is going to go. we're gonna put this pattern in here like this, and it's gonna look really cool. We're gonna go to object, we're gonna expand this appearance and flip this. So it's kind of like that. And we're gonna take this guy and put it in the center like we had, like this. Sort of centered up. Oops, don't want that. Use a different tool and drag down. Oh, we want this to be white. So we got that going on. Blah, 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 blah. Cool, 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 cool. Actual, client work, right? We're streaming. We'll do it after this. What's going on here? What is happening in this corner? It's really weird. I expanded this and it didn't connect it like it normally. What is going on? Okay. I'm doing something wrong. Oh, I'm clicking the thing. I'm not clicking the I was clicking the actual shape, which is then moving the whole shape, but it wasn't moving just this, so that's fine. Okay, so I want to take this. I want to make it longer, but I can't because it's just how it is. So what I can do is I can just copy this. And go like this. Okay, so we're going to connect this to this, this to this, this to this, and this to this. Great. And then we connect. We hit Command Y, it allows me to see just the lines, which is going to make this a lot easier. So now we have these two shapes, right? But I want to make these the same. So we're going to take all these and we're going to, they're actually all right there. See how these are all there? So actually I can delete all of these. And these are actually going to be pretty good. So I just want to, I'm going to hit Command J. It's going to join. Shoot. I'm going to hit Command J to join, Command J, Command J, Command J. Great. So if I hit Command Y, I have this shape here. So these two shapes, I'm going to group these together and I'm going to click on the plus button and make a new pattern brush. And that is going to give me a pattern, which is good. I kind of want the corner to be how it was, but it's fine. So I'm going to now grab this. I just want the outside of this. Does this have a stroke to it? No, okay, good. Now I can just draw a box actually. So I'm just gonna draw a box that's the same. I'm gonna I'm gonna offset that path negative 0.3 points, which is gonna then put it negative 3 points, not 0.3. It's gonna put it dead center of this box because I told it to make it so it's 6 pixels inside. So now if I select this, it's going to give it the color of this pattern, which is exactly what I want. Now the corners are what they are. So we could go to this frame we had before and find just this corner area. And if we want, we can duplicate, we can copy that and paste it on here. Chaos, Command Y. Okay, we're gonna delete this. Delete this. I'm gonna join these two together. I'm gonna delete this and delete this. I'm gonna join these two together. Join. Join. Great. And down here, what do we got? I don't know. I'm just gonna join these together, see what this looks like. Why is that happening? Oh, because it's not a shape anymore. I can hit Shift M and just erase these shapes using the shape builder tool. Okay. So I have this shape here. Great. I need to make it real small and see if I can make this work as a corner piece. I would have to make it the same width as the thing, but I can't do that because it's weird. So that's fine. We'll just leave it like this. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to hit Object, Expand Appearance, Object, Expand, Object, Expand, and make it white with no stroke. Ah, so the corners are being funky. That's interesting. Flatten transparency. I just changed them white here. So what this is doing is it's doing its own little way of clipping out the corners. So I can just go in here and just make them white. I mean, I can honestly just select this and go to this. It says everything that is white is now this color. Did it select the thing on the inside? Yes, it did. Okay, good. Great, so I have this cool border. So I'm gonna delete this, copy this, and we're gonna paste this as a smart object right in place of where it needs to go. So now it says Champions Mark, Scottie Scheffler. The background looks cool. Do we make everything else now smaller to make it fit? Signature I'm just gonna hide because we don't care about the signature really right now. We want to move everything other than this border and make it a teeny bit smaller. Kind of like this. I think this looks pretty cool now because we added that border. Now we might want to add just a plain border around this, which will kind of copy what we've got going on here. You know, do we go in and add a colored border to this to make it more interesting? Just trying to think, what do we want to do here? I mean, there's mark of a champion, champion's mark. There's a lot of different ways we can sort of jazz this up. We can just do real simple champion's mark like this. And just move the golf ball and everything down. Selected everything. Do this, except we have champion's mark. This is why it's nice to have players set up the way they are. Here, champion's mark, Scottie Scheffler. We can make this a little bit smaller now. Kind of like that. If you had like a logo, we could put it on here. Scottie Scheffler logo. Take a look at that. Yeah. We're gonna use this dumb thing. We're gonna use Scottie's dumb thing here to do that. So we will use just a quick select thing there to go like that, copy that, like that, paste. Really, the champion's mark, I think how that would actually work. Oof. Would be based on the championship he won. That is what the thing is. So I'm going to grab the Masters logo and we'll make this a Masters champion mark. So if you won a championship, you get to have your card in this series. And I need to set this to multiply. So we put this in the center. This is the Masters tournament. Scottie, Scheffler, 1. Kind of like that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to... How can I do this? I'm going to give it a color overlay, but I want to set it to color. Yeah, kind of like that, but not really. Yeah, that's what I thought. I downloaded a ping file, not a vector image. Let me see if there's a... This is probably a vector file I can download. Yeah, download vector. I must click one of the 800 download buttons. Like, see this? This is this like sketchiest thing ever. We're gonna hop into the source code. Do I have the master's logo on my computer? That would make it easier. What is this? Early on, when I was doing sports design, I actually worked with PGA Tour. So I made a couple graphics for the Masters on Masters Sunday. It's not this. This is the tournament logo, but not anything. God, this is so bad. I made this forever ago. So bad. What is this? So bad. What were you doing? What were you doing, Brad? I don't know if it's on here. Okay, let's just go back here. I can go to sources, I can go to images, and I can find the SVG file. If it's an actual SVG file, which it's not, like it's not gonna let me download this. Yeah, this is so bad. Alright, it's fine. What I wanted to do was color overlay this and then just ghost it a little bit, but I can't color overlay it normal. I have to do hue and saturation, but then kind of screen it and invert it in this overlay. Whatever, that did nothing, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, we'll do that. Masters tournament, sure, whatever. This I want to add a little bit of a gloss to it. Oh, I'll just do it manually. Duh. So we're gonna grab a circle. Just gonna draw a circle like this. We're going to give it a fill of a gradient like that with no stroke. Fill is that, great. We're gonna have the fill. Come on, let me change the fill. Hey, this is so stupid. Can I not change the fill here? Just using this? This is really stupid. Thought I could do what I wanted to do. We're gonna do this instead because it's gonna work fine. Gradient, great. We're going to clip it to this. It is clipped, and I can take this gradient and kind of do this. But then this can be a slight gloss. There. Now it's shiny. We did it. Okay, great. So I'm gonna add a border to this. So when we go to the top, how do I want to do this? This is a Champions. This is a Masters card now. This is a card that's for the Masters. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our background area. We're going to give it a color overlay. We're going to give it a color overlay of this Masters Gold. Yellow. Normal. Boom. Okay, so now that is that color. Great. We're going to take this. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make it yellow. Now we're going to keep it white. Champions mark. Great. We're going to move everything down again except for that. So it's kind of like this. Champions mark. See, now though, here's the thing. The whole point of this is a champions mark. So it's like a ball marker. So based on that, we have the ball marker at the bottom. But is there a better spot that we can have him sign it? You know, a ball marker can go anywhere. So we could theoretically take all of this good stuff here and rotate it, you know, 30 degrees. So it's like this, which I think looks kind of cool. Maybe we do 20. Where's everything at? So it's kind of like this. So Scottie Scheffler's down here. The ball marker is on it. We can make it a little bit larger than. So the golf ball overlaps the mark. So the mark's down here. The ball's up here. So we rotate it a little bit more. This is going to give it a little bit more pizzazz. Let's make it a little bit larger. There. So we do this. Now we have to take the Masters logo and rotate it back, which is fine. Make that 0. Take this image of Scottie. We can find a photo from Scottie from the Masters now. Go back to this Google. Boom. Look, it's Scottie with the Masters. Let's just type in Masters. Masters. More lights. No, image. This is the past year. This is what I want, right? Who won the Masters? Who won the Masters 2024? Scottie Scheffler. Yeah, I want these photos. Why aren't you finding me these photos? Why didn't it find me this photo to begin with? Anybody know? Exactly. That's what I thought. We're going to hide Champions Mark real quick because we're going to take Scottie, put him here, except we're not using that image, we're using this image. Drop him in. You know what we can do? Chris mentioned this when we started. And have him break outside of the container. You know what I mean? Him, it's mainly the... Make this a little bit larger. Have him break outside of the container a little bit. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Usually what I'll do is I'll just create a layer mask. This is when I will use the polygonal lasso tool because we really just want to trace out like this trophy. And we might edit this so it's him later. You could, instead of doing a full cutout, we can just fake the funk and do this. Cut, 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 cut. Tiny little house. We're nitpicking with pixels here, so this shouldn't matter. This is also theoretically going to be, this would be a small, tiny card. So you wouldn't even see this. I think we honestly need to just cut it to there. So what if I delete this layer mask? Well, I'll just hit. Yeah. Delete this. Invert it. And do that. So it's kind of like this. Kind of like, make it a little bit bigger. The only reason I'm making it bigger so it can actually like break out a little bit better. So we'll just grab a brush. I accidentally turned Siri on for some reason. And we're just going to paint around here. Now I could, again, go in and fully cut this out, but I'll just do it like this. No, I'm not going to do that, actually. I am going to cut this out because we're going to want to give him a stroke around his whole body. So we'll just do this. And again, it takes like 2 seconds to do. You just use our dear friend.
Quick select.
We can just use the refine edge to get rid of some of this. We can use the brush tool to go in here. Up here, see, this is all funky. This is where we would use the polygonal lasso tool. See if this understands what this is. It does not. I'll come back to that. Get here, get here, get here. Button. Button didn't arrive, so we can just use the brush to brush this back in. If you guys are enjoying the stream, I think we've made a little bit of headway on some cool stuff for this. I'm going to try and keep doing this as, you know, I'm teaching now and freelance is coming. Some stuff's building, which is always good, but I like to do little things like this. It sort of forces me to think on my feet, which I like to have the ability of doing, you know, quickly thinking of something because it's been 2 hours. Not even. How long has this been? I don't know. Hour and 42 minutes. So I lost my mouse. So it's been 1 hour and 42 minutes, and we've made this cool looking card that we're 80% of the way with, I think. I do this thing where I'm trying to like rush to get this done. But I want to make sure I provide you all with good educational content that you can look at. I even told my students that I need to link my YouTube videos so they can watch them too. That way if they have an inkling to learn more outside of the classroom, which I hope they do, they can go here. Alright, that's not perfect, but that's fine. We'll save this as something else, and then we can replace the contents with Scottie Scheffler here. Great. So now we need to take this, mask this to Scottie, but then we can pretty much just erase everything up here. So now he's breaking out of the container, which is exactly what we want. How do we do that here? Just like that? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Unmask that so I can move this around a little bit. I'm going to make this back golf ball here. This hue and saturation layer, which is great. I just want to brighten it up a little bit. I think it was a little too dark. It's brighter now, which is good. I do want to make a selection of this and mask this because I want it to come on top of this outer layer. Adds more depth. Scottie Scheffler Masters Tournament. Do I want Masters Tournament sideways though? Because it's arcing the ball. I feel like they would get real pissed if this was like, you know, like this. But it's a little bit more realistic. And it's underneath the shadow, which is good. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Just because our marker isn't, what's the word? White? It's not white anymore. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate Scottie here. We're going to, this is fine. I'm going to give him a stroke. Okay, I know what I was trying to do. We're going to delete this. So we're going to give him an outer stroke of 3 or 4 pixels. And we're going to make the color this yellow. This is going to be our holographic. Modify. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be white when we print it. If we print this. We can't print this because of all the trademarks, but this is what it theoretically would be. We can take this and give it a stroke as well. Oop, nope, 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 nope. We can take this just duplicate it, delete this, and just put this on top. And then give this a stroke. So this also has a stroke, but we want to select modify, smooth it out. I smooth it out at 10 pixels. It's a circle. Really could be whatever. So we've got a couple holographic areas that we can use. I can always move Scottie up and down, which is good, except I need to take this Scottie and put this in here so it's like that. That looks terrible because oh, this is the background, which goes here. There, like that. But our holographic doesn't go over this, which is a problem. So we need to put all of this on top. I just need to move this down. That's easy. This is the ball marker. G. Marker. So I can take this, and all of this can actually just go right here. Yeah, now it's actually underneath this stuff. Good. We're going to give this a stroke. We're going to give this a stroke to this. Didn't really want to give that a stroke. We're going to give a stroke to this. New smart object be a copy. Get rid of this. Stroke on here is fine. We just need to get rid of this back layer with the shadow. And this drop shadow here. But I already saved and quit out of it. It's going to look like that. It looks kind of okay, but not really. You can really just go like this. Because I think what I can do is just give it a fill of nothing. Yeah, you just give it a fill of nothing. So this is what our stroke looks like down here. Now we want it to be on top of the shadow. So like this shadow here. We don't want it to apply to this yellow. Actually, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Scottie Scheffler Masters Tournament. Okay, we've got all this cool fun text. We kind of don't need this. We don't need this anymore because it's on top. Duh. Okay, I'm going to go up here to the top like I said I was going to do a while ago. We're going to give it a solid color. Not what I wanted to do at all. We're going to have a solid color of that. We're going to turn that to a smart object and give this a stroke inside of 75, of 37. And that's going to be white. And then we set the fill to be... Let's just set this to screen. So this is what the card looks like. If we need to mask that out, so that's a problem. We just need this to go above this layer here. So this is what our card looks like. So this is showing me that we need to move Scottie down just a little bit. Oof. What is it moving? Oh, I didn't move this. I moved everything but that. So move Scottie down just a little bit. So he's still inside the bounds of the card, but he's breaking out of the golf ball. Great. So Champions Mark. So now we can put Champions Mark over here on the side. And we can play around with it a little bit. So we can make this extra bold, which is good. I'm going to blow this up just so it's larger. How do I want to do Champions Mark? See, because we could put it just down here in the bottom. Champions Mark. Your champions. Real small. Champions. Let's do this. And we're going to draw a new box. Mark. Champions. All caps. Make this like 10. Put this in the center. Spell champions correctly. Champions. Make this smaller. Kind of like that. Make this out a little bit. Let's do like 220. That's a little too much. 110. And we'll take mark like this and... Ooh, small caps. I don't want small caps. I wanted to make it fat, kind of like this. Turn it sideways, but I don't know if that's going to work. I'm going to go back to this golf here. I wonder if we put something on here about his score. And put like champion's mark here or something like that. Or mark of a champion. But his signature's not on here anywhere. Again, his auto is just gone now. Which is kind of a problem. So we're going to make Scottie smaller. And move him up a little bit. Because we are going to put... a tasty little autograph right here. Color overlay of white. And take this, and we're just gonna go yoink. I'm just gonna take this, and we're just gonna go like this. We can make Scottie even smaller now. Move this down a little bit, kind of like that. His signature's right here. We can put his signature right here now. Make it a little bit larger. We don't need any of this finesse or anything, though. We can just kind of make it his signature. Get rid of the effect and just delete this. It's kind of going off what that other card looks like. Checking something real quick. Blah, 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 blah. It says nothing. Completely informative email. So maybe we do mark of a champion. I don't want to cover this up, though. I don't want to just straight copy what Panini does. What is the point of doing that? We can do mark of a champ. I mean, mark of a champ sounds really like a downgrade for... How about we do mark of a master? That makes a lot more sense. We do mark of a up here like this, and we take this, make this a lot smaller. Instead of extra bold, maybe we make it regular. We bump it out like this. This could also say mark of a master right here. Like we can take the master's logo out. We don't need the master's logo. So this is where the... Shoot. This is where the new logo for this card's gonna go. So we're gonna take this, make this a little bit larger. Shoot, what is this? Mark of a master. We take our Scottie Scheffler text that we spent all that time on and we kind of hide it for now. Let's delete some of this stuff we're not using. Don't know where the Scottie Scheffler text is because it's not on here. There we go, mark of a master. So we do this, blow this up. I don't want this all caps, I want it to look like this. We do mark of a master. And we have it sideways, so it's following the same. what we could do is we could spend some time to really finesse the text down there. But it says mark of a master now, so it's his mark. We can put this underneath here so it follows along. What goes down here then? See, we've got all this room now where we can put something. This is where his name would go, essentially. Yeah, mark of a master, we've got that on there. You know, we can put his name down here. So we've got Scottie Scheffler. You know, make this smaller. Maybe we put some accolades down here. Ooh, don't want that. 100. I like most of this except for this is all nice. I like this. We've got a place for him to sign. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's there. I do want to give this the same sort of stroke this has. I'm literally looking at this card to see what this card does, just to see like, oh, we can do this. And then we'll give this a stroke here. Everything is holographic. The more holographic, the better. This corner. So I might want to put like hole numbers and yardage. Pebble Beach hole marker. Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, like this. So something where it says par, handicap, yardage, something like that. But it has to do with Scottie Scheffler's 2024 wins. Let's go to Fox Sports, see what this says. Probably just go to the Wikipedia page. Or we can go to TaylorMade.com. It'll tell us because he's a TaylorMade athlete. Here are his 6 wins. So he has 6 wins, but he also has an Olympic medal. This is from June. So he's won. So he's got seven wins. So we do like hole 7. How much money has he won? What is it? Money board, golf, PGA Tour. Career money leaders. I don't want career. I want season. I don't want this. I want just money and finishes. Money winners. Just this season, he's won this much money. Great. So we have hole 7, and then we paste this. What does it look like? Handicap. So we can do 292, 83.57, kind of like that. These are the yardages, but this is how much money he's earned. But how can we have these together? We can have it. We're gonna fit it in a container. So we're going to draw a rectangle down here that has some nice padding to it that looks like this. This is going to be our shape container. We're going to give it a stroke of 3, which is going to be that yellow color, like this. And we're going to fit everything in here. We're going to make this green, I guess. No, make it black. Just follow, make it black like this. Okay, so if we go whole like that, we're gonna duplicate this just so I can make some lines like that. So we do whole 7, make another line, put it below this one, whole 7, and then maybe we put these next to each other. Yeah, kind of like this. These would need to be different colors though, theoretically. What do they got here? Blue, gold, white. Yeah, so we'll make this one blue, gold. Gold colors are hard to figure out. Blue, gold, white, yeah. Just gonna go down here. Is there, how many are in here? One, okay. So we take this and go like this. Whole 7 with some yardages, but these are career earnings actually for this year. I think that's fun. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna group these together to do like stats. Do I want to have... I don't think I want any holographics. I think these are going to be holographic themselves, so it'll be fine. And usually things can be like 10% smaller. Kind of like this. So we need somewhere where it says Scottie Scheffler. So literally I'm just going to put right here, Scottie Scheffler. And you can just sign over Scottie Scheffler. We know it's Scottie Scheffler because it's got Scottie Scheffler on the card. Everybody can figure it out on their own, essentially. Scottie Scheffler. So this is what the card looks like. The only thing I think we can add to this is this stupid golf ball. We can give this a slight gradient overlay. Except I knew I was going to do that. Stroke. Gradient overlay. Kind of like this. Mark of a Master. Hole 7. So these are wins. Hole 7. These are the yardages. Great. What was I going to put down there? Nothing else. I think that's it. Okay, cool. Now if we did Scottie Scheffler down at the bottom, I think that might make a little bit more sense. So maybe we can take our Scottie Scheffler text here and put it up here. Except we're just going to give it a color overlay of black. Put it on the very top. You rotate it a little bit and make it larger so it fills up the space at a more normal pace like this. And looks terrible, I know. But we can go here, take the text. We can just make the text black here actually, and then make this like 10. Oof. Make it look like that. And then save, come back over here. Save, come back over here. There we go. Now it says Scottie Scheffler. Does this look better? Maybe. So you can sign over his autograph a little bit more like this. I just have something to multiply. So then it's signed like that. I think that's good. This is a good point. Right? We have our card. I think this looks cool. We can probably, we could probably add some filigree here and stuff to incorporate this a little more so it's not floating on top here, but I think it's fine. One thing we can do too as well is we can actually just fake this now. We're not even using that thing anymore. So we can just kind of make the grass a little bit smaller. So it's just sort of a textural element to it. And again, one thing. Duplicate this. Change the stroke of this to be black. Yeah. Put it below this one. Set it to normal. Shoot, I don't want to do that. Invert. What are we doing here? Stroke. This is what I wanted. Just want this to be the same size as the top and bottom here. And then I just changed the stroke width to be just around the edge there. So it's just really black and holographic so we can read it. That way the inside of this can be like green. We can make it whatever we want. But okay, so I'm going to save this. This is Scottie Scheffler front. This is the front. So actually a lot of these strokes, I don't want them to be gold. I want them to be white. So we're going to fix that. It's going to be white. This is going to be white. It's fine. Basically just have to find anything that has a stroke on it, except for the background. This is going to be the same color. I made them yellow so I could see what the heck we were doing, is really what we were doing. Stroke white, great. Save. Delete that. Stroke can be white. Stroke here can be white. This has another stroke on it, but this is the one I want. And then the golf ball needs, the stroke of the golf ball needs to be white. Uh-oh. 2 golf balls. Okay, this has a color overlay to it. I'm going to change the color overlay of this to, we're getting away from the masters. It's just saying mark of a master. We're going to give this a gradient overlay, and it's going to be gold. Like this. This is what we're working with. So this is the front. So then we're gonna make a mask for it. So we theoretically want to like print this off. So now we're thinking, what do we want to not show up essentially? So let me go to my assets real quick on my server. I don't really care what I'm finding here. This is fireworks, great. It's not really what I want, but this is what we're going to use. I'm going to duplicate it just to brighten it up a little bit and grab an adjustment layer with curves. That'll wake you up. Let me put this in the bottom. Great. Basically the only thing I want on this is what I would want white to show up. So anything that has a white stroke to it is getting deleted. So like this color fill is getting deleted. Anything that's multiplied. So we don't need this. We don't need this. Now I want to turn this on. I want to do this. So I want to do that. So I want a black layer. Black's going to print though, so it's kind of fine. This layer might not be a lot, to be honest. I think we might want to have a little bit of this. So I'm going to give this a color overlay. And it doesn't matter what we give this color. So I'm going to make everything like pink. So we're going to make this pink. We're going to take this and mask out that area. So we mask that out. We hide this, hide this. shoot. Hitting buttons. Confusing myself. Yeah. This is turned off. Okay, I want to take this layer. Here's what I want. I only want the inside of this, where this pink area is. It's gonna have a slight layer to it. So we print a little bit of white. Not a lot, just a little bit. And I forgot this edge. Black is going to print as black, so we don't need to worry about that. What are you doing? Yeah, I know. Do not show again. Okay, I need to uncheck that. I know no pixels were selected. That's fine if you select no pixels. Okay, I'm gonna turn this into a smart object and set it to like 25. Great. So what do we want to show up white here? We definitely want the area from the side. We don't need this. The stats. This technically is going to shine through. We honestly don't need much. I think I might have messed one thing up, so let's fix that. Open recent. Front. Okay. We are going to give this here. We're going to give this a stroke as well, like that. It's 4, great. All right, we're going to save that, go here, take this. We can remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. This is just going to have a stroke applied to it. That is white. That is 4 pixels. That is on the outside, like that. We're then going to... Can I give this a fill of nothing? This is the stroke we want. So it'll just be a stroke around it. So it'll have a holograph around it, but not in front of it. Scottie up here. Scottie we want to see. We want to see all of Scottie. This is front Scottie. So we're going to take this Scottie and we're going to give him a color overlay of magenta. Great. This is Scottie's stroke. So we need to take this Scottie and remove it from a lot of stuff. The background we actually don't need this, I don't think. Here's what I want to do. I want to take this and I want to mask it out. So if I hide this, it's gone. So that's what I want. I want that gone. The stroke of Scottie is fine, so I can get rid of that. I can hide this stroke now. This is just here to like get rid of this. So the stroke is along this line here. You know, the stroke on here, we're gonna make a new, just gonna duplicate it, get rid of the stroke. Take this, hide this. We want the stroke around here, so we need to take this. Actually, we need to take this too. You go like that. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So this is printing white. This is printing white. I'm really confusing myself with this. I'm going to duplicate this without the stroke. This just gets a color overlay of magenta. But I need to cut this stroke out. So I need to take this, hide it, and remove it from this Scottie. So we've got a gap here, which is good. We need the gap on the circle now. So we need to take this and remove it from here. So it looks like that. But does that have a stroke on it? Yeah, the whole thing does. So whatever... Oh, I'm duplicating this on accident. So this stroke I need to remove from here. There. So we've got all the strokes, which is good. The only stroke we're missing is this outer layer here, which is good. So that's this. We basically need to remove the background. So this here. We need to make it see-through. So if we set this to like 100%, this is what we're looking at. Everything else is going to have nothing. I do want this all to be white. This here. Is that this? Yeah. So this can have a color overlay. I didn't give it a gradient overlay. That's confusing. Let's give it a color overlay. Give it a color overlay of magenta. So this is going to be the white layer that the printer puts down. So right now it's going to be a little bit of the background, the golf ball, where he signs, and Scottie. I think I want most of this to not be holographic. So, like, I can get rid of the shadow effect because we don't need that. But this is all screwed up. So I need to take this and mask it out like that. So we see through everything. We want the mark of a master. We want this stroke. And pretty much that's it. We don't need the shadows or anything. We do not need this. This we need. This we don't need. This is what we want. But we need to take this whole thing and delete it from this back. So it's see-through like this. Great. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to take this back layer and set it to 50%, and we're going to save this as a mask. This is going to print white. What I need to do actually, so then I need to hide this and delete this from this back layer. Yeah, I know it's a smart object. So that's going to be holographic. This isn't going to be holographic, and there's a little shading on here we don't need anymore. These are all going to print white. Everything else is going to be holographic. Cool. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new document. Let's not make a new document. No, we're going to go to my assets folder, find BJD cards stuff. Oh, wrong thing. BJD. What I'm doing is I'm looking for my static templates. It would be a folder. Okay, looking for these. So we can mock this up now in one of these guys. I kind of like this resting one. We'll do it here. We can take actually this grass. Bottom color. We'll just paste this grass down here. Kind of do one of these. Yoink. Yoink. A little bit of depth with some grass, but not really. Let me just go in and just remove this. So we'll go with the ellipse tool, grab this, gender to fill, enter. Gets rid of it, which is good. We don't want it anymore. Let's just combine these together and hit save. It'll save here. Great. Background, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Let's double click the card in here first. So now what we can do is we can take a parallel color. Yes, I'm clicking on this. So we have two files now. We have our front and our mask. So they both look like this. Front and mask. I'm going to make these as big as possible, because this is a 2800 by 1800 file. So we have our mask, and we have yeah. So our mask, we're going to go down here, and we're going to give it a color overlay of white, because that's what's going to print. Our printer is going to print white on it theoretically. We are going to go to my design server, and we are going to go to a file of card stuff. Here's all the card stuff. Here's all the cool things. Let's go to Parallel Pack 3. We just figure out which one of these we want to add to it. Let's do this MC Escher pattern. That's fine. I'm going to make this larger, blow it up a little bit. I'm just going to duplicate it and lighten it a little bit. And again, go here to curves and just make it a little bit lighter then as well. I'm going to put these all on the bottom. Now all we have to do is just hit multiply on here. And this is what our card looks like. Mark of a master. So looking at this, we can go, okay, what do we like? What do we not like? Well, we can barely see our cool filigree. So maybe we want to change that. So I'm going to go to Scottie front here. This is an editable file. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go to the mask, and I kind of want this to be on here. So I'm going to give this a color overlay as well. So it looks like this, which is bad, because we need to take this and mask out from it. So now it looks like this, which is fine, but we need to take this guy and delete it as well. And then we need to take, shoot, whatever this is. It's this minus this. And go like that. Okay, so I'm gonna save this because I kind of like the background on the mock-up. I think it looks a little bit cleaner. Hole 7 and all this looks like this. I don't think I want it to actually look like that. Oh, I know what happened. So in our mask, I do want this layer turned on. I just want this layer turned on without the stroke. So the white is going to print there, and I do want to print these on here. This is just going to be like this. So we go back here, not back here, back here. We can read it now, but it has a little bit of holographic to it. So I actually need to turn both of these on. Set these both to just like a screen. Oh, screen doesn't work because there's no background. That makes complete sense. So we're going to move these up here. So now when I save and go back here, our lines are in the middle, but it's got a little bit of a holographic behind it, but it doesn't. Is that because I didn't save that here? I think so. Yeah, so I need to give this a stroke. That's 4 and hit save. Now let's take a look. I'm just looking at some holographic stuff here. We have it set to multiply on here. Where's that? See, it's like that. So I think the holographic might be a little much. So we're gonna just kind of do this. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. So then we can see the filigree and stuff on the side a little bit better. It says Mark of a Master. Let me just combine these together and do that. It says Scottie Scheffler. It's got all the cool stuff on it we wanted, which is great. We can go back here and grab his signature and put it on here like this. Just paste it, turn that on. So he signed the card theoretically right here. Good. And then I have a special file I like to use Just trying to see if I want... Yeah, that would be that. Okay. If we don't like this background, I think that might be the thing we change. But I like how this looks. Maybe we just give this... We'll just fake it here. A little bit of a border. So we get a solid color of black. Fill it. Give it a stroke on the inside. That's 37 and a half. So the more we give this border, the less it should. It just gives the edge a little bit something to hold on to. But I think this is fine. I might just change this to be just silver. Which I have in my Mega Parallel Pack. Rainbow Parallel Pack. Just this silver parallel. We'll put that behind it. It just looks like a normal looking sort of sports card now, which I think looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit better. I'm actually going to take this and flip it around to make the whole thing a little bit brighter. Great. Cool. So I saved this. That's fine. I don't really want to save it as a PSD file, because it's not going to link. Whatever. I'll just save it to my desktop. We can sort it out later. Yeah, I understand. And let me go back to my assets. Under my, I've got stock images in here, paper. There's one right here. This is a glossy texture I use on a lot of stuff to make this look like an actual card. Gloss. Kind of like that. Duplicate it. Flip it around. Put it down here. Maybe make this one a little bit smaller. Save. So now if we go to Vert Resting, I can right click this and hit Replace Contents. Do Card. And now we have Scottie Scheffler, Marks of a Master. I'm going to disable this layer mask to see if I like how that looks better. I do not. I just gotta figure out what to put as a background. Maybe we just go in here, copy this, paste it right here. Just one of these. Marks of a Master. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. Pretty successful little stream. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit and zoom in. Just to go like this. Now here's the thing. I don't want this inside to be the exact same color as this background. Because clearly it's the same. So what we can do is we can double click the card, which is going to open up as a smart object. We'll go to our front here. And then this will just add a color overlay, and we'll set it to color. And then we can make this just like whatever green we want. You just make it like green. There. Like obnoxious green. Now we save that here, go back here, save that here, go back here. One thing we didn't do is my new logo's not in here. I need to have my logo on this. Duh. It's a card template. New logo, 2024. Hopefully we find this and it doesn't break. Logo 2024. New logo. Search. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. I'm just going to toss my logo on here and then get it posted. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this stream. It's been a nice 2.5 hours making this cool little card. I think it turned out pretty solid. Hopefully I can stream for you guys in a continuing basis. If you guys have any suggestions for what to stream, you know, usually I'm just in here trying to figure out what idea I want to do on that day. Today we made a Scottie Scheffler card. So if you have something you want to see, if you want to see me do a design of someone and not a card, we can certainly do that. You just let me know. But I'm going to darken this up a little bit. We'll save this as Scottie card mock. Don't really care what it's called. And then we will save it and export. Chris, so what I did was I took everything and rotated it a little bit. It fit things on a little bit better. So it's off center now, so it's to the side, and this is over to the left-hand side now, is essentially what it is. So you see here, I just rotated it. I thought it fit in that area better. Instead of having a circle and a rectangle and all this dead space on the side, I wanted to have a little bit of space down here. So that is what we have. So let me see what we've got here. If I can go to my desktop. So here's our final right here. So not bad for 2.5 hours of work. Again, thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to head out now. I taught this morning. I've been talking nonstop essentially since 9 a.m. So I'm going to go do some client work. You guys have a lovely rest of your day. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe to this video.